Hello everyone, welcome back, Inquisitor here, and I'm back from my holiday or vacation, so apologies for no videos for the last few days. But fear not, today we're back, and today we're going to be looking through and talking through the new crafting stuff, that is to say the new tech tree as well as the new advanced materials, to have a little look and shed a little light onto this rather impressive looking feature. So obviously we've seen a patch drop recently. You'll see I'm running around with one of the new swords. That's very exciting and all, but as I say, today we're going to focus on this guy, the Tech Priest, and to start off with, holy cow, this looks awesome. So we've seen some changes straight up. First up, this amazeballs looking guy on the right, the Servitor, Adeptus Mechanicus, Adeptus something something. He looks absolutely awesome. I love what they've done with it. A little bit sort of cartoony, sort of graphic art style, but love it. Absolutely love it. So let's look at the major changes first to the crafting system. You'll see they've optimized quite a bit. So you'll notice these four little colored icons here have been moved from the bottom right to the top left. You'll see in actual fact the majority of what we use is now on the left side and the bottom side of the screen. The top and the right is just more for visual, and this is really nice. There's a lot less clicking involved. If I now want to salvage all my yellow items, I click, I'm done. So beautifully simple. If I want to salvage an individual item, I find something I want to salvage, I click there, it tells me the percentage chances of each item that I might get. I click salvage and Bob's your uncle. That's what I got over there on the right hand side. Beautifully simple. Something you'll notice is on the purple items now we have a 100% chance for an ancient mechanism. This is a pretty big thing because now, well, you can kind of swap a purple for another purple. It costs one to make one, so if you don't like a purple you've got, you can basically disenchant it and make another one. Not a bad feature actually, although maybe we'll be flooded in purples before long. We'll just have to wait and see. So let's go ahead and scratch all of these yellows as well. Absolutely amazing. I love that to pieces. So you'll see we have the advanced material tab down here as well. Let's go into crafting, and ooh, things are looking more complicated. But before I can explain to you what the advanced tab does, we need to go over to the tech tree. So let's nip over here, and whoa, something new this way comes. We have 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15 awesome techs here, and these have to be researched. So, well, you take a little bit of time to do them, I will be honest. If you have a look at this one, it took me 4 hours, this one 12 hours. These are the two I've gone through so far. Now what they do is a mixture of making crafting more betterer, or allowing you to do more things with crafting. So starting off on the top right, just to talk you through a couple of them. Top right one essentially makes all crafting actions cheaper. Next one along allows you to do quicker crafting, or decreases the duration. Go down from that one, that's a further 15%, so 10, 15, 25% total. There are a few of these that sort of buff crafting, and quite a few in particular increase the amount of order slots. Now you'll notice down here we have a queue. That's right, you no longer have to craft one item at a time. What you can do now is click I want to craft this, and what we'll do is we'll just do that now briefly. We'll craft a something anything, not a purple item. It's not got that many resources to throw. We'll craft this, and this is here. Now if I craft another item, let's craft another one. Living it today, right, and now we've got this one queued, so as soon as this is finished it'll crack on with the next one. I can queue 3 so far, but I can unlock another 3, and as well as that you can eventually craft 3 at the same time, which is really cool. So you can end up doing batches of 3 and you can just plow through content with that. So a really nice feature. As well as that, you unlock the ability to make advanced materials here, as well as unlocking a few tabs. So the advanced materials, if you start with refinery, and I'd really recommend you do this, it'll take 4 hours to do. That will let you craft advanced materials down here. Now, in order to use them, you also need to research optimized crafting, and let's move on to see what these things actually do. So what you can do is click on each one of these advanced materials, and it tells you what it does. So this is when crafting, you can use optimized advanced materials when reforging an item, and that essentially allows you to upgrade something you've already got. But for the sake of what I can access at the moment, we'll craft something, and let's take a look at some of these. So optimizes the random roll value for the attack or defense power rating on the item by 30%. So you'll see the attack or defense has a random value that you're going to get. This basically pushes that up by 30%. So it's not going to push it beyond the upper boundary. It's not going to make it absolutely amazing, but it's going to mean whatever you make is going to be toward that upper boundary. So if you've got one purple item that keeps sucking and is holding you back, use one of these. And on that note, let's have a look at how we use it. So first up, let's cancel that and just fill in all the basics, because this still has to be done either way. Then we'll go to this, we'll go to our advanced placing, and if we start dragging it, we can have a look at where we can place it. Now, what you'll see here is it doesn't say that it matters where you put it, so I'm going to put it over here, okay? Just out of the way, and you'll see why in a moment. If we move to the next one, optimizes the random roll value for all base parameters, damage, deflect, dodge, etc. So we get damage on this weapon, we don't get deflect or dodge, for example. So this will basically make it do more damage. We can move this one over, we can pop that down there as well. So far we're increasing base stats for them. Now here we go. Here's where things start to get a little bit more complicated. Optimizes the random roll value for all adjacent enchants by 20%. So you'll see we have 1, 2, 3 enchants here. Now they're not very well placed, because if I were to drag one of these over and put that, let's say I put it up here in the top left, that will increase one random enchant, whatever this one turns out to be, by 20%. If I put it down there, we now increase these two by 20%. So if you have your random enchants closer together in sort of a closer stack, this is really good. This one is obviously the only one that can affect both adjacent stats, so there is a little bit of thinking, a little bit of foreplay involved, and sort of planning here to make this item as good as it can be. Now I do have some of these other materials here, and you'll notice if we have a look at this one, optimizes the random roll for all adjacent offensive enchants. Well, the truth is we don't know if they're offensive or defensive, so that's going to be a bit of pot luck. But that's where it kind of comes in handy if you've got a purple recipe that has some predefined stats. So if you've got a Mark 4 or a Mark 3, you'll have two predetermined stats. This one looks really nice. So if we put some items into this, let's crack on and fill that up. Right. Let's see what we can do here. So let's go to this one. So this increases, or rather optimizes, the random roll for attack or defense, and it's also damage, deflect, dodge, and all enchants of the item by 15%. So it doesn't matter where I put it. I'll tuck that one out the way. It doesn't have to be adjacent, so that will affect me everywhere. You can see this is where actually you have to plan a little bit for these items. Really, really nice touch. I love this. Optimizes the random roll value for all adjacent enchants by 50%. So I really want to stick that somewhere where it's going to basically touch as many as possible. So if I stick that here, it'll give me, now bear in mind it's adjacent enchants, be it offensive or defense, so that'll give me 50% more to this health roll and 50% more to this damage for salvo skills. If I put it down there, I get a bonus to damage for salvo skills and a bonus to whatever this random one turns out to be. You can see this actually starts getting, if we just start throwing random stuff around, this starts getting really, really interesting as to what you can do where and how it all works. Obviously I've just thrown something random together, but that is a really interesting system. I love how it's almost a little mini game, and you could probably sit here with a complicated item. I'm presuming they're going to be filling out a lot of this square system with some of the items, and you could maybe be here for half an hour planning your perfect item. Now bear in mind I'm just crafting at the moment. What I will be able to do is use this for reforging an item and basically upgrading an item that you've already got, which is a really, really nice feature. If we cancel this, go over to the tech tree, you'll see some of these here. Upgrade unlocks new tab to modify and upgrade the items in your inventory, and then the next one basically allows you to enhance using that tab, using the advanced materials to upgrade and modify the items. So you can unlock the tab and then you can actually do the item activation thing here. this is a really, really cool feature and really big for the game, because this means that we're not going to be playing a game like Diablo 3's old school system where you had to craft 500 amulets and just pray to God that one of them didn't suck and that it had a mixture of critical hit and critical strength. In this game, you may, and I'm presuming when it says modify the enchants, obviously upgrading an enchant means taking the numeric value and making it more betterer. You can do that with these advanced materials, but modifying the enchants seems to imply that you can actually change what they are. Now I might be wrong, it might just mean you change the value of it by modifying it, but to me that's kind of what upgrade means. But if you can swap out enchants on an item, that's a really, really cool feature. Obviously it needs a little bit of a random element, or it's going to be far too easy to create the perfect item, but this crafting system actually looks quite detailed. There's also some things that we don't really know what they are yet. Unlocking rune slots, so another new tab on the Reforge tab, or rather another function on the Reforge tab. I think we can assume that runes are going to be the sort of the Mars pattern. If you get 20% damage and 50% ammo capacity loss, that I think is going to be a rune. So I'm guessing you can reforge the rune of an item, so if you get a really great item but it has a really crappy rune, then you can change that. But bear in mind that this is going to take a while to get through, and we might even see a character reset before you even finish this damn thing. If you look at some of these, 2 days, 7 days for this one, 4 days, 1 day, 2 days, and then you add up all of the fate that it costs, this is going to take you quite some time to unlock it all. But it looks like a really exciting feature. We know we can change the appearance in the appearance tab, so we know the modify tab is coming, and that's where you change the enchants as well. As well as that, we know there are other tabs up here that we've not even unlocked yet that are going to be unlocked. Guys, this feature's looking really nice. I really like how it's looking so far. I think the Tech Priest looks like an absolute boss. I mean, to me that looks like a good model for a playable class. Maybe, maybe not, maybe someday. Or you just think the class is shit, who knows. But there you go. Guys, that's a little introduction for you for the crafting system. Hopefully you get how it works. If you've got any questions, leave them down below in the comments. We'll try and help you understand everything. And for those of you that are just hyped for PvP, do not worry. Auto Hydra is grouping up tonight and we're going to be having a good old bash. Hopefully I'll get some decent footage, put that out for you for a video this week, looking at the balance of PvP and talking about how much we freaking love it. Guys, have a great, hot, sweaty week. It absolutely is baking me alive here. Take care.